Hey, what's up? Hello, everyone. Welcome into Fantasy Filmball, the show where we turn movies into sports and sports into something we don't talk about here. My name is Matt.
My name is Dyl, and we are back with a brand new draft here on the show. And you know what? I had a pretty big lead a few weeks ago, but you're closing in. It's just now a one-game difference between us and these drafts that we've been doing now for almost 40 weeks, a little less, between 30 and 40.
Yeah, we are almost 50-50, which is where I'd like to be. I think it would be, I'm not trying
Parity.
to be the ultimate winner. I just definitely don't want to be lagging behind you by like 5 or 6 wins. We have another draft today. It's going to be so much fun. And this draft, in honor of your birthday, which is coming up pretty quickly, we are going to be doing a 1999 draft here. You're 1999, right?
I am. That's why I was like, let's do 99 here because, yes, 23rd August, which I think when this video gets posted is in a day, maybe 2. You know, wish me birthdays down below, but don't let that skew your vote. Fair, honest votes here. Don't give me sympathy votes. I want my team to actually speak for itself, but I did lose last week, so that means Matt has our first pick up today.
Yes, sorry, Dylan. It might be your birthday, but you don't get the first pick overall because I do, and I'm going Fight Club. Number 1, 1999. Easy. There's 2 that you could pick. I'm not a huge fan of the other one, and Fight Club to me is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's a shockingly funny satire. It's incredibly relevant to the modern world and probably always will be relevant in how it talks about toxic masculinity and how it talks about mental health. There's so much in this movie. It is so good. Yes, there are so many people that misinterpret this movie, but don't let that take away from how goddamn great Fight Club is. All right, what's your choice here, Dylan? Because I think I know what you're going with. There's really one second choice you can take.
Assuming that we're thinking of the same movie, I am a mega hater of that movie, so I will not be taking that here regardless. But maybe it's not the same movie. We'll have to see here shortly, but yes, Fight Club, I think that is the clear number 1 on the board. So with my first pick, I'm going to go a little bit off the beaten trail here. My second pick will make a little bit more sense for the top. At least my first one I'm going with, I think, is probably the 1B movie of this year. While it doesn't get the respect it deserves all the time, I think it's one of the best comedies, one of the best romance movies of all time. I guess you can kind of call it a romance movie, but it's 10 Things I Hate About You. It brought us Heath Ledger. It's just got a great ensemble, and it's one of those movies you can throw in any mood, and I feel it just cheers you up and makes you feel like so great.
Fucking respect for that, man. I love this movie. It was not in my top 10 because I was like, there's no way that I'm gonna win with that on my team. But it's so good. It is such a good movie. I can't knock you for that. It's a 10 out of 10 high school movie. It belongs alongside Clueless, Mean Girls, Breakfast Club as some of the best high school comedies of all time.
I think it belongs above all of those movies. And to pair with 10 Things I Hate About You, I picked this movie before, and when I picked it before, I picked it for a holiday movie, even though it's not one that you think of during the holidays. But, you know, your birthday sometimes can be considered a holiday as well, so give me Stanley Kubrick's Eyes Wide Shut. Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman. This is probably Kubrick's weirdest movie, but I think he really nails the tone, the aesthetics that he's going for. And I would really love to see like what his like ultimate vision would have been with this movie if he had the chance to like give it his all, which sadly he did not get the chance to do.
I was not expecting you to take that so quick, but I dig it. Stanley Kubrick is an all-timer, and this is a great movie from him. So I'm guessing that the movie you are a mega hater of is The Matrix, which is going to be my next pick. It's very good. It's not one of my absolute favorite movies. It's just off my list, which is why I'm dipping a little bit down. This wouldn't be in my top 10 for 1999. It's pretty close. I give this a solid 9 out of 10. It's a great action movie with some fantastic set pieces, a very interesting concept. It's a science fiction movie that has absolutely ingrained itself in the consciousness. And to pair with that, I am going to have to go with The Iron Giant. That is a lovely movie that is so heartwarming. It's heartfelt. It makes you cry. A wonderfully animated piece of work that I think calls back to that sort of golden era of animation and in children's media while kind of forging a new step forward. It was definitely definitive for me in my childhood.
I guess I should clarify my Matrix hatred. I saw all the Matrix ripoffs, so then going back to the original, it's like, well, all these movies just did it better. I don't really know the best way to say this, but I don't think Keanu Reeves is a good actor. So I
he's
get
not.
why people appeal to him, but whenever I see him on screen, I don't buy anything that he's doing or saying. That it also carries over to the John Wick movies, if you remember from John Wick Chapter 4. It's like, I like the movie, I just can't like buy into anything that's happening.
No, and I completely agree. I agree with you. The reason why The Matrix isn't a 10 out of 10 for me, it's a 9 out of 10, is because it suffers from that Seinfeld isn't funny syndrome, which is it did a lot of these things first before everything else did. That doesn't necessarily mean that it has remained the best with a lot of those things. I still think, bar none, those fight scenes are some of the best of the best. What are you going to take next?
You broke the animation seal, and I see like 3 of them here I really want on my roster, but do I want 3 animated movies? Maybe not. There's some more, horror movies, there's some more blockbusters, but I think I have to go with, it's my birth week. I gotta be honest to myself, so give me an animated movie. Give me, I think, the best one to come out this year, and one I think is very revolutionary, not just upon itself, but for what happened in the years to come. And that is South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut.
I was hoping to snag that in round 5. I'm going to be honest. I was
cool.
really
Good
hoping
thing I took it now. I was like, I should save this for my last because it just makes sense going there. But good thing I went with it now. Say what you want about South Park, but I think the movie is one of the better pieces of media to come from it. It nails the tone. It nails its satire of what it's going about, and the fact that when you make a satirical movie or a show and what you're making fun of becomes a controversy around it, just shows that like what you're doing. The fact that this got an Oscar nomination, it should have won, honestly. And there's a lot of great choices left on the board, but there's only one movie like this on the board, while some of my other picks I'm looking at, there's other similar ones. So give me Being John Malkovich for my next pick here.
God damn it.
I'm not the biggest Kaufman fan, and I guess Spike Jonze for that as well. Like I like Spike Jonze's like visual style, but in terms of most of their movies, I haven't really been the biggest fans. But for some reason, Being John Malkovich just checks off all the boxes. Performances are great, and I was just very ingrained in the story. And it's one where obviously we have the original. We don't need a remake. We don't anything. But I would really love to see like what a modern version of this movie would look like.
I love Being John Malkovich. Oh, god damn it. I was really hoping you were going to skip over that and take something else. You got the right one. That's a great pick, and well done. Well done, Dylan. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
All right, for my next pick, I'm going to go and reach to a Paul Thomas Anderson classic, a movie that for a long time was one of my top 10 movies ever made. It's not at the moment, but it could pop up back there. It's got one of the best Tom Cruise performances ever, and that is Magnolia. This one is a masterpiece. It is a magnum opus. 3 hours of non-stop drama. It hits you with the feels every single minute. It is just a wonderful piece of work that I think has and always will stand the test of time. Now at number 5, I'm going to take a movie that hasn't stood the test of time. That is American Beauty. A fantastic movie that I haven't seen in 10 years. When I saw it 10 years ago, I thought it was brilliant. If I watched it now, maybe I wouldn't. Wow. There's so many things about this that haven't aged well. Kevin Spacey lusting after teenagers. Oh, dear. Wow, I'm not looking forward to rewatching this one. From what I remember, this is exploration of late 20th century, the kind of feeling of being lost in the world that so many Gen X people had at that time. It might not be the movie that people go back to the most for 1999, but if we were to take one movie to define 1999, with all its warts, with all of the shitty parts of the 90s, it would be American Beauty. It is definitive of this time period, and it's still a pretty good movie if you can, overlook all the creepiness.
Well, you took American Beauty, so I really want to take American Pie here, but I'm going to pass on that one. Green Mile's another one I want to give a shout out to, and that leaves me with, I guess, my top 3 here. We have Sixth Sense, Blair Witch Project, Toy Story 2. They all make perfect sense here to take at the 10th and final pick. But I'm not doing that. I'm going with a completely different movie. You talked about The Iron Giant before, that which really defined your childhood. Well, this movie was it for me. We have Adam Sandler here with the Sprouse brothers from Sweet Life of Zack and Cody and Sweet Life on Deck. So give me Big Daddy. This is a movie I watched all the time as a kid. Have I watched it in 10 years? No, I haven't. But I remember watching this thing on repeat all the time as a kid. I wanted to be the Sprouse twins. It's like they get to hang out with Adam Sandler all day. Could I tell you what the plot of this movie is? Not really, but I remember really liking it. So
they go
it
to
just
McDonald's
makes sense
at
here.
one point.
I do remember that, and I do remember the pizza roommate who was like the pizza delivery guy or something like that. That's about my knowledge of this movie. But Big Daddy, final pick, boom.
I think this is the craziest team either of us have ever taken, Dylan.
I mean, when we have a blast for the past, we have to do that. So why don't we remind everyone what our teams are? Matt, you kick us off here.
Well, I started my team off with Fight Club. Then I took The Matrix, followed it up with The Iron Giant, then Magnolia, and finished my team off with a controversial pick, American Beauty.
Well, I swung for the fences with 10 Things I Hate About You, got a little dirty with Eyes Wide Shut, South Park Bigger Longer Uncut, Being John Malkovich, and close it off with a cinematic masterpiece that is Big Daddy. So everyone out there, drop your comments down below. What movie would you take first overall? Would you go Fight Club? Would you go Matrix? Would you go with something that we didn't even draft? And make sure to head over to the community tab on YouTube to vote for which team you think has the better roster. And whoever wins that draft gets the first pick next week.
I'm coming for it, Dylan. I'm coming to tie it up.
I know, you're one off. You're one off. So everyone out there, don't let him catch up. I want to keep my lead here. We're about to get into some really fun drafts because we have Fall Film Festival movies. We got a lot of cool stuff coming up.
As always, thank you so much for watching. My name is Matt.
My name is Dyl, and this is Fantasy Filmball.